Okay, here we are today at Dino Fab's table with a Rumble robot. And we're going to take this apart. We're going to turn it into our own little autonomous robot. These things have a battery case down here on the bottom. So the first thing we should do is put some batteries in. This is where the battery compartment is. It takes 4 AA's. Yes, the rent's cheap because I live near the airport. On the back are some switches. There's a off on and a A and B is which team it's on. Back when they worked okay. This one's called Mephisto and it'll probably say bot online. I'm Mephisto. Here we go. Nothing. That's not good. Maybe not. Mephisto. Okay, so they do work. There's just a little corrosion there to take care of. A little bit of sandpaper. We'll be ready to go. So let's put the cover and the batteries off to the side for now and get the head off this robot. These arms move around with a little motor that's inside there. I'll show you later. On the back, by the tail, there's this little screw. It's right there. It's on every single one of these. This one, it's a little hard to see on the camera, but it's pretty easy to take out. Just need a small Phillips screwdriver. And there it is. Let's put that aside. You lift it up and there's a little tiny lip on the front. It's kind of tricky. There it goes. Now we have a cable we need to disconnect from the motherboard. Pretty simple. Just a small screwdriver, pry up the little tabs and pop it back off from the board. And now we have just the naked board. And right in this area is the black blob microprocessor that's on board from the factory. This is the one that we're going to wire into. On 4 of these wires we can make the motors go forward or reverse. There are some other ones here that are kind of fun to play with. I haven't done anything with them yet with a bot, but someday I'm going to. So that's how you get inside a Rumble robot to hack it. Okay, that takes care of the left motor. Moving right along to the right one. stuff going on inside this guy. Okay, here's the original Rumblebot. It had one bump switch on the front, and I recently put a micro switch on it. I'd like to have something a little more sensitive, but it's the original and he's cute, and he's the coolest one so far. So anyway, on to the one we're building. This one, in Boltman, has these little arms, and we have some switches that we soldered in and hooked to the arms, so they're going to act as little bump switches. It doesn't take very much effort to make them make contact. And so on this one, I'm going to put them on 2 slots on the Arduino instead of just one. On the website, it's only got one bump switch, and that one goes over here to pin number 2. And that's the way the code is written on the website, and the schematic that you see on the website, this one is there. I'm adding one more bump switch to number 3 and to ground also. Same thing, I'm just adding one more bump switch, number 2. So we have one in each arm. And now let's solder them up. Okay, I've already soldered up one wire with a little piece of copper on the end of it. Right now we'll get this soldered together. I have it tinned up with a little solder ahead of time. Then I can go ahead and touch the two together, solder it, and let it go. Now we'll put this little piece of shrink wrap up here. Put it back in the hole to make sure we have enough in there. And just hold the soldering iron up near it and it'll shrink. Okay, so now I've got the, let's see, I have the left side plugged into number 2 pin, I have the right side plugged into number 3 pin. My grounds are still floating around needing to be connected. I'll do those next. Okay, I've taken my 2 ground wires, twisted them together. So now I need to get a little solder on them. So we'll put the soldering iron down there and let it warm up. Put a little solder on the copper. Now we're going to put a 100 ohm resistor. That's one with a brown stripe, a black stripe, and a brown stripe. And if you look on a resistor chart, you'll see what that means. It's 100 ohms. 100 ohms is the resistance, and it's going to go on the ground pin, which is 1, 2, 3, 4th pin over. We're going to do some more of that fun shrink wrap stuff here. I need a little bit bigger piece this time because I've got 2 wires to cover up. Okay, so let's get a little bit of solder on the end of this resistor. Get this tinned up. Okay. Now we'll get this wire soldered on that resistor. These will be the 2 ground wires that go to the ground pin over on this side of the Arduino. That's it, it's soldered. Now I can move the heat shrink tubing down, and we'll go ahead and leave the resistor exposed so we can see what it is later. Heat this stuff up and shrink up our shrink wrap. And there we go. We've got our bump switches connected. Now we'll move on to the motor functions.